What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Whiskey Dixon. I'm Sugarbear.
And I'm Curt.
And today we are drinking Laphroaig Lore Single Malt Islay Scotch Whiskey. Very excited for this one.
The richest of the rich.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
super happy to review this with you. When I picked this up, I drove straight to Sugarbear to let him try a shot of it.
yep, brought it into work and we just drank some.
What can you tell us?
48% ABV. I like that. That's kind of the standard like Laphroaig percent, like triple wood, quarter cask.
I think this is stronger than triple wood. I think triple wood's the 46,
It's
right?
48.
Oh,
I don't think Laphroaig makes any 46. They do like 43 and then they just jump up to 48. I don't know why, but I like it. I'm not complaining.
Nothing wrong with that?
No, not at all. You got a bunch of like fuzz on your head.
All right, we'll start over. I'm fuzzing?
Like hello, bro. Anywho, Laphroaig Lore is aged between 7 and 21 years, so it's a no age statement, but 21 years, I mean, that's pretty cool right there. You have to imagine there's a decent amount of 7-year in there too. That's just to give it the peat, because over time, peat fades away from whiskey. Like a 21-year-old Laphroaig isn't even going to really taste that peaty.
Yeah, the young gets the nice pungent fresh peat. The 21 will give it that deep, complex smoothness, especially with the sherry. You know, this is most comparable, obviously, to Laphroaig Triplewood, but this has more time in quarter casks and a lot more time in first fill sherry.
Yeah, they use a better sherry cask for this one. Yeah. It's a first fill.
The guy flies to Spain just to hand select the best sherry casks, and this is the first thing that goes on.
Not only is this their best casks, but this is like their best stocks of whiskey that go into this also, which makes it not a cheap whiskey. Comes in, what's the price point on this?
$150.
$150. So yeah, one of the nicer things we reviewed. I can smell it from here. I can already, that's nuts. Okay, what I love about the box is every Laphroaig always says the most richly flavored of all Scotch whiskeys, and this one says the richest of the rich. So this is like their kind of top shelf whiskey. This is one of the nicest things they make.
It's the passing of tradition. It's their most premium whiskey they release.
Well, part of it is they discontinued the 18-year and they replaced it with this. Good God, man.
It's just so nice.
That is an assault on the senses. That is the most peaty smelling thing. Like I've had Octomore, and this smells.
It's not the fumy, harsh.
No, it's not fumy at all.
That you get from
such
younger and
smoke,
cheaper.
such deep smoke, like.
Oh man.
It's like putting your face in a kiln that is burning peat bricks and just inhaling the smoke.
I haven't sipped on this in a long time just because I was saving it for the review.
So oceanic too, like so much like seaweed, sea salt, brine. I don't even really smell the sherry.
Distilleries.
I feel like the sherry comes through more on the
I'd say the sherry comes through on the color. When you compare it to the other Laphroaigs, I mean very light, clear yellow.
No,
the sherry
dark.
comes through on the color compared to any other Laphroaig, huge difference. And I'd say you get it on the palate, especially if you compare it next to other Laphroaigs that aren't first fill sherry.
So yeah, it's first fill sherry and quarter cask, right? Is that it? Is it just those two?
No, it's three. It's three.
The others
like
maybe
the
like
Triplewood,
bourbon or refill cask.
But the ones they brag about are quarter cask, super small. You know, it ages faster and less surface area, and the fact that it's first fill sherry, not just a sherry barrel. That
exactly, it's like a significant step up from Triplewood. You know what it probably is first they age this in their sherry casks, and then they age Triplewood in them after they use them for this.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Triplewood is not first fill, so.
I haven't even taken a sip of this yet. I keep just sniffing it. I wouldn't say it's insanely complex. I would say it's so intense. It's just so like the flavor that you like, the smell that you smell is just so powerful.
It's what you want from Laphroaig, and I think you get more sherry just on the palate.
Or any Islay whiskey. I mean, that's just awesome. Wow. Okay. Okay.
It's so good.
It's still just going. Oh
the
my
peat
God.
covers your mouth.
Oh, it's such a finish. Like it gets more and more intense after you've taken it. It's like, I feel like
You have
smoke
like
is
15,
just
20 seconds to think about it in your mouth.
blasting out from my mouth right now.
The peat and the oil cover your mouth. I mean, there's no escaping it. If you like Laphroaig, you know the peat flavor we're talking about. This is also a lot more deep, dark, colorful with the sherry. So you get a little more sweetness and smoothness.
It has that classic Laphroaig, like Band-Aid, TCP, hospital sort of taste or smell. Just a little, just enough to let you know, yep, this is Laphroaig. It also has that nice sort of like creamy vanilla ice cream note.
It tastes so pungent that you think it should burn and then it just doesn't.
It doesn't
So
taste
smooth.
super sherry, but it's there in the background. I feel like there's that little bit of sherry fruit in the background that makes it such a like sophisticated experience while at the same time being super intense. Crazy amount of peat here. Like this is one of honestly the smokiest whiskeys I've ever tasted of it. I've had Octomore and I would say this is like equivalent to that, if not even smokier. It lasts so long. I haven't even taken another sip yet. I'm still just. My God, that is thick. It is so thick.
Yeah, that's. When I first got this, I said, I probably won't buy this again. You know, it's $150. It's kind of like triple wood. The more I drank it and the longer I waited on it,
Might be
the
worth
more I've
getting again.
appreciated it. And I'll probably get
actually
it
be-
again. That's
it's-
what I said about, Glendronach the first
This
time I
is
got
up
it.
there,
And
I
then
would
by
say.
the time I was like, okay, I'm going to get that
I
again.
feel like this is like the Isla equivalent to that. Like this is like.
You
That's the best thing
like,
from Laphroaig.
I also love, the Lagavulin Distillers Edition. It's way more sherried. It's their equivalent of this, where it's more
Yeah.
over $100. But Lagavulin lost a lot of that pungent peat.
Yeah.
It went down.
It's gotten a bit sweeter
as
over
the
years.
sherry increases, the peat decreases.
Well, and the age of it, when you think about it, it's all 16 years, so it loses peat.
But this is
at that
different
point.
because you get sherry and the sweetness and the fullness of that, but you don't lose that pungent, ripe peat smell.
Oh, the peat is thicker than ever.
It's so present.
But it's
I
also
love it.
really oaky. It's got a really long finish. It's not super fruity. There is just like a little hint of sherry weaving its way, like just a little bit of sweet sherry. But
It just rounds it out.
I feel like peat is the star of the show on this. And like when the first sip, it's not even peat. It's almost like campfire smoke, like cool, damp campfire ash in your mouth, essentially.
Well, I feel like it's kind of sweet, smooth version of what you're
Well,
describing.
and then after that, that's
soon as
like
it
the
goes down and you
initially
breathe.
intense peat, and then afterwards it's like
I feel like it's on the
sweet
breath
vanilla.
that you realize how much peat smoke you're really dealing with. I love this. Right when I
my
bought it,
God.
I called him within minutes and said, if you could try anything, what would it be? This was one of the two bottles.
like,
I just drove straight to
warm.
him while he was working and just.
I was like, hold on, everybody, hold on, I need to try this. We're
just-
closed
yeah,
for a
we
minute.
Just poured it, and we enjoyed it.
Send it.
It was great.
Do you get a bit of like coffee on the finish, like mocha?
A little bit in the
Because
background.
it's kind of creamy, but it's also like that smokiness.
I think you get a little bit of the chocolate creamy mocha coffee thickness in the
I
background.
feel like I'm left with like a coffee note, like smoke, like
Well, that's
cigarettes
what
and
the
black
sherry-
coffee.
That's what the sherry and the age do.
Yeah.
The getting more age or more sherry, you get more of that chocolate or fruity or coffee or deep kind of flavor that sticks around. It just stays longer in
Nuts.
your mouth.
It's crazy how good that is.
I love this.
The whole point of this release was to just show the evolution of Laphroaig over the years, like how good and how different their whiskey is at an older age, but while being blended with a younger whiskey to maintain that intense peat. So it's really a perfect balance between older Laphroaig stuff that maybe isn't quite as peaty, and then like some 7-year-old
my mouth
porter
is just
cask.
watering.
Oh, that's like
Just tasting it and thinking about it, my mouth is just salivating. So
that's like
much.
craveable. That's like eating a nice steak. Like that's like
I was really filling up my mouth. That now small sips, it's like
That's
you
like-
can really think about
that's
it.
like meaty almost too. I get like burnt bacon, like lightly burnt bacon. charcoal, like charcoal grilled meat.
Yeah, I think the first fill sherry definitely helps with the color and the thickness that helps.
I tasted a little. I taste a little
It
bit
just
of
helps the flavor linger so
little
much.
bit of fruitiness, barely, is just kind of weaving its way around. But
it's so crazy that this is almost 50%, and the finish is like smoother than whiskeys that are 40%.
it goes so long. It's such a long, intense, peaty finish. I love this.
Yeah, I need more.
Oh my god! It sucks how much it costs, but I get it. I get why they're charging that much for it. This is clearly a step above, like most Islay whiskey. And Laphroaig, I don't know if I already mentioned it in this review. Laphroaig means the beautiful hollow by the broad bay, and in Gaelic. And what's cool is they have a royal warrant from the Duke of Wales. So like, one of the Duke of Wales' responsibilities is to just check up on Laphroaig every once in a while and make sure everything's going well and that their whiskey is the same quality as it should be.
Keep doing this.
Yeah,
or
keep
I'm
doing what
gonna-
you.
I'm gonna punish
and they
you.
pay him. No, like I think they get like money from him or something. I don't know. One of his duties is to like ensure that Laphroaig is
That's a good dude.
maintaining their quality.
Come here, drink all your whiskey, and
they
make
do
sure
their-
you keep doing that.
They do their own floor malting too. They actually harvest their own peat on site, like hand cut bricks, and smoke their own peated malt on site.
I actually also saw that they grade their whiskey based on what's closest to the ocean, even in the same warehouse.
Yeah. No,
like
that's
in the same building, the same warehouse.
just
The
a few
quality
feet can
that
make
is
a
closer
difference.
to the ocean is actually better and different.
Yep.
So, I mean, they take their select barrels, their best batches, they put it in their best first fill sherry casks and quarter casks, which is awesome. A lot of scotches don't advertise that or do that.
A few do. There are a few, like
The ones that
Ardbeg's
do
kind of
it,
the same way.
Like advertise, they want people to
Yeah.
know. That's a significant thing.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there are some of the Islay distilleries now that have gotten so big that they don't even age their whiskey on Islay. Like Lagavulin only ages so much of its whiskey on Islay. A lot of it actually gets aged on the mainland, and that's why sometimes you get a sweeter bottle that doesn't really have all those nice briny, peppery, kind of funky notes. But as far as I
just
know,
due to more sherry kind of covering it up. But
not
makes
necessarily.
sense.
It's actually it's so popular and in demand, like Lagavulin in particular, that
Lagavulin's great. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Lagavulin and Laphroaig are at the top.
I mean,
of
I don't
my
want to
list.
say that it got overhyped for a minute, but it kind of did, and now that's
It
why
did,
they
but
have.
because it's good.
It's great. No, it's totally great. It's a classic. Everyone's had it. We'll review it at some. We've reviewed a couple other Lagavulins.
Even my favorite Lagavulin doesn't quite compare to this.
I don't think any Islay whiskey.
And I probably like
compares to
Lagavulin
this.
more than anyone. And I mean, this is.
I would love to try
This is
this
kind of the
side by
mecca.
side with Core of Reckon. That's the only thing I'm thinking of that got this intensity.
I think if you want this quality,
I think this is
you're gonna need to spend
longer-
like 400
longer
on Dark
finish
Cove.
and better-
Like, you're gonna spend.
Darko's not 400. It's
How
like
much?
200, I think.
Yeah, you're
Which
gonna
is
need
still
to
a
spend
lot.
some money
That's
if
still
you wanna match
quite a bit.
this quality, I think.
Yeah, the age is significant. Like you can taste it in this. That like there's really old whiskey in here. Oh, it's
It just
so
stays.
rich, so insanely
I love
rich
this.
and thick.
I'm so happy. I didn't even want to finish this bottle without
It's like
reviewing it
the concentrated
on
version
camera.
of
I need to
Laphroaig.
keep this flavor and this memory for the rest of my life.
This is fantastic.
That's what I think about this bottle.
I am very happy we got to review this. Actually, this is one of my favorite things we've reviewed so far, and it's really expensive. But if you have the money for it and you really like whiskey, buy this. Actually, it's 100% worth it. Yeah, or like if you want to get a really nice gift for somebody that you know really likes whiskey and you want to like impress the hell out of them, this.
Make
this
sure it's
is
someone that likes Isla so they can really appreciate this.
so we like smoky whiskey because this is like
this
off
is
the
creme
charts.
de la creme
Yeah.
if you know what you want.
This is insanely good. It's very, very smoky though. Like this is as peaty as anything I've ever had. God, that's good.
Yeah, I'm getting another
I
bottle.
even smell like I'm getting like barbecue notes. I'm getting like all kinds of stuff going on in here.
There's a lot bouncing around.
I feel like when you combine sherry with peat,
Got
it's
that
like
sweet and
barbecue
smoke.
sauce.
Sweet and
Exactly. It
smoke.
reminds me
You
a
got
little
the
bit
sweet, you
of
got the
like a
smoke.
barbecue
It's-
sauce or barbecue type of deal. Love it. Love it. Any final thoughts here on the the lore.
This is a win, man. I love this. I love this whiskey.
I can't stop
so
smelling it,
much.
honestly. I'm getting other weird notes too. Every time I pick up the glass, I'm like, I'm
The more
smelling
you
different
drink
things.
it, your taste buds get acquainted, and then you start to realize and expand more and think about what you taste, what you smell.
A hint of like strawberries and cream. Like once you get used to the peat, all the little subtle notes start coming out.
No one would ever get that off of their first sip because it's so much smoke.
No.
So much
There's a
smoke,
lot of
so
really-
much peat. You would never get that. As soon as you're acquainted to that, I totally get that.
All these interesting little notes start
it's
coming out.
thick and rich and creamy, and
Like strawberries and cream ice cream.
again, that's what I think you get with the high age statement in here, the quarter cask, which is moving things along quicker, and the first fill sherry, which is more sweet, more full, and you know, those add so much to the complexity and the length of the finish.
Yeah, this is one of those whiskeys you could pick out like 30 tasting notes.
I could spend all day with this.
This is one of those ones you need to think about, like while you're drinking, and be like, "Whoa, that's a winner."
I think
right
if I
there.
hit the lottery, I would just drink a bottle
Just
of this by
only drink this
myself
every day.
in complete isolation, just so I could
Just
think
to
about it as I work through it.
absorb
and
all of
just,
its
like,
all the knowledge.
I don't
lore
want
of
anyone's
Laphroaig.
thoughts or opinions or noise that day. Just
Want to experience the glory of Laphroaig. That's awesome.
I love this.
Yeah, no, this is.
I'm so glad
This
we
is
got
great.
to review this too.
It's one of my favorite
I'm
things we've
good
reviewed.
morning. This.
Well, if you enjoyed this, smash that like button, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel.
Do it.
Let us know what other stuff you want to see us review. We'll definitely review
buy it.
more
Let's
Laphroaigs.
go.
I mean, we here on Whiskey Dixon love anything from Isla, and Laphroaig is one of the best. They're right up. They're one of my absolute all-time favorite distilleries.
It's delicious.
So yeah, delicious. Super happy with this. Until next, I'm Sugarbear.
I'm not.
No.
I'm Curt.
That's Curt. And we are Whiskey Dixon. Until next time, cheers, slancha,
Salud.
keep on drinking.
I'm not gonna finish this and do the flip like normal. I'm gonna keep sipping.
27 minutes.
Oh no! No, 27 minutes.